Welcome back to another edition of the VSOP Lounge. I am your host, Captain of the Cool Kids, host of the Grown Man Logic podcast, Dewan J. And I hope that all is well. This evening, we're going to continue down our G7 Man series. We've talked about gallant. We've talked about gracious. We've talked about genuine. But before we get into that, let me introduce the drink of the evening. Again, in this beautiful glass, available on shopgrownmanlogicpod.com. That's shopgrownmanlogicpod.com. shopgrownmanlogicpod.com. We are drinking a Hennessy G Code this evening. A Hennessy G Code is going to be our drink of the evening. And yeah, we're just going to continue. For those of y'all that this is first time viewers, first time listeners, first time viewers, or if you bought the condensed version, the box pack, if you will, off of iTunes or Apple Music, then we're in the middle of a series. We're in the middle of a series, the G7 series, the Guide to Desired Outcomes. The Guide to Desired Outcomes. And this series is designed to talk to the men out there that perhaps are looking for ways to turn around their luck, looking for ways to put themselves in better positions to take advantage of different opportunities and outcomes and get the outcomes that they want versus allowing things to happen to them. So we at Grown Man Logic have put together the 7 G's that are necessary for men to get these outcomes, and it works. The formula works. I'm a life coach, available through email, direct message, or what have you. Certified life coach, certificate available upon request, and this is the same advice that I give those clients, and it's worked. It's turned out phenomenal results for people in terms of building self-confidence and just turning around the mentality and the person that person is. So again, we've talked about genuine, gracious, and gallant, but tonight we're going to talk about giving. We're going to talk about giving. The definition, providing love or other emotional support, caring. Now, you would think that somebody that puts themselves in positions to attain success, to attain wealth, to attain marriage, women, cars, houses, things of this nature. Dewan, what the hell are you talking about? Why are we talking about giving right now? And it's because being a giver fosters the relationships that you need to go forward in your life. There are several benefits to giving, and it's always the givers that seem to be the most successful. It's the givers that tend to have the fresh perspectives, and it's the givers that get to interact with different types of people from all walks of life at all times. Upon meeting someone or a business or anybody that you're trying to go into business with, creating any sort of relationship, you want to be the person that adds value. You want to be the person that's adding value. A salesman doesn't make a sale. A salesman shows you how the product that he's attempting to sell you would add value to your life. So a salesman just has an opportunity and he steps through the window. He shows you the value. And that's the difference between being a successful salesman, being a mediocre salesman, or being a failed salesman. How does this product add value to my life? And in this instance, You are the product. The person watching this is the product. Yes, I'm talking to you right now. You are the product. So how are you going to sell yourself? Those of you guys that know me know that I'm a pro wrestler, and at many seminars that I attend, they have what's called the elevator pitch. Okay. Vince McMahon is known as the king of wrestling, a god of wrestling of some sorts. But from the ground floor to his office at the very top, it takes 11 seconds. 11 seconds. So you and Vince McMahon are in an elevator together. You want to be a pro wrestler. How are you going to sell yourself to Vince in 11 seconds? How does that translate? What value? What value do I add to anybody in 11 seconds? Can I tell them and get right off of it? In today's society, we're so caught up on instant gratification and microwave success and wanting the outcome now. Life doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Life doesn't work that way. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes sacrifice. It takes long hours. It takes getting up early, staying up late, doing the things that nobody else is doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just list of that was a list of things that you have to give. You have to give your time, give your effort, give of yourself. Deny yourself sometimes. Your friends are out partying. They invite you for a drink, but you got a paper due. You need to handle your business. There's a stripper party, a hotel party, the biggest blowout of your life, rave. Everybody's going to be doing everything that you like to do and things of that nature, but you have a presentation to close an account tomorrow early. You normally roll into work around 9, but you want to roll in at like 8 today, which means that you're going to have to get up at 6:30 or 7 to make sure that you're shaved and, you're smelling good. You're looking good. And when you walk through the door, you want to own that shit. You want to own it. It's probably not the best idea to go partying the night before. You're giving of yourself. Statistics have shown that people that give and people that donate, they have a longer life. They have a longer life expectancy. They have a longer life expectancy because their conscience is clear. They walk around light. Giving actually makes them feel good. So they're not walking around stressed 24/7. They're not walking around angry 24/7. What am I doing it for? Why? Who cares? It matters to somebody who does not have it the way that you have it. It matters. That one extra rep is the difference between first and third place at the Olympics. That one extra hour, that one extra chapter being read matters when it comes time to take the midterm or the final. That one more day at the library matters when it's time to turn in your dissertation. That extra 10 seconds, it matters to the old lady that you helped, that you held the door for inside of the grocery store, that you helped across the street. It matters. We have to get outside of ourselves. And those of us that are not givers, those of us that are selfish, we tend to wrap ourselves up within ourselves. So when things are bad, they're really bad. When things go south, they're really south because you can't get outside. There's no other perspective. And being a giver allows you to see the other perspective. You have more optimism. Why? Because you channeling a negative experience to benefit others. It kind of renews you. It gives you a sense of optimism. It gives you that feel good pat on the back, the dopamine hit that you need, that's going to continue and power you through to the next project. And that's really what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. How are you adding value to every situation that you encounter? You think that that young lady that you want to talk to doesn't have 10, 15 other suitors? How are you adding value to her? What are you bringing to the table that no other man has brought to the table? What's going to stand out for you? What's going to set you apart? What makes you different than the last five guys that slid in her DMs? Tried to text. Cat called her on the way to meet you or on the way to where she was. There's nothing. What are we doing to add? We have to give. We have to give. There's several cliches that you can get into. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. To whom much is given, much is required. But that's the one. That's the one right there. To whom much is given, much is required. So this entire series, we're positioning you to receive the outcomes that you desire. To be ready for the results and be able to harness or harvest the fruits of your labor. So if that's the case, you have to be ready, but you have to know that there's work coming. There's work coming. You have to, even in the Bible, it's contractual. It's contractual. In order to build the church, faith without works is dead. That's conditional. And all I'm saying is that when you're doing the work and you're grinding and you're in the gym and you're studying and you're reading your books, don't forget to be a giver. It gives you a sense of fulfillment, rewarding, and purpose. You're going to hear me say this all throughout this series. Wake up on purpose. You have to wake up on purpose. You're a man. You don't have time to dilly and dally around. If you don't know what your purpose is, then your purpose is finding your purpose. And if you do know what your purpose is, then your job is to wake up and take steps towards reaching that at every waking moment of your life. You can't afford to be distracted by the bullshit. You have to wake up on purpose. Because the guy is not the guy that willy-nilly wakes up. If you're not waking up on purpose, then he's a competitor. One extra body in the playing field. That doesn't have to be. And it's crazy because when you give of self, not only does, if you're a Christian, God return everything back to you 10 times, 100-fold, but the universe also plays by those same rules. In a sense of karma, do good and good will happen to you. Put out good energy and good energy comes back to you. The universe plays by these same sets of rules. Be a giver. Be a giver. Give of yourself. Give of your time. Give of your money. After you've saved some, of course, but you, if you died, you couldn't take it with you. So, what was it all about? We're trying to get desired outcomes, right? And we've talked about how uh, it makes you feel better. We've talked about the fulfillment, the rewarding aspect, how it puts things into perspectives and lets you know that your life really isn't that bad. And that's a pretty good leaping point. That's a good jump off point to the rest of your life. Now, is this about to be a diving board that you're jumping off of, or is it a trampoline? Diving boards versus trampolines. Both got bounce, both have springs. One propels you up and the other one sinks you to the deep. But the crazy thing about diving boards is if you take too many bounces, it'll just dump you itself. So make sure it's a trampoline. How do we do that? We have to build it. It's going to take some sweat. It's going to take some blood, some tears, some extra effort. You have to give effort. You have to try. Participate in your own success. The activism cure. We've spoken about that and how it alleviates stress. And honestly and truthfully speaking, if you're not adding value, then you're in the way. How do we get there? Write down your day tomorrow. Write down what your day is going to look like. I don't care what day you're watching this or what day you're listening to this. Write down what your day is going to look like tomorrow. Step by step. From the time you wake up to the time that you're going to go back to bed. Okay? This is called a value stream analysis. From the time you wake up to the time that you go back to bed. And don't skip anything. Wake up, walk to the bathroom, brush teeth for 2 minutes, shower 15 minutes, put left sock on, put right sock on, write the whole thing down. And watch how much time you're going to be able to save yourself sleeping by cutting out some waste, by trimming some fat. What do I mean by this? This is going to put you in a practice of evaluating projects at work. Evaluating time of trimming fat when you're dealing with relationships and when you're dealing with other people. This is going to teach you how to trim the fat, how to look at the entire project and trim what's not needed. And then ask yourself, are you needed? Are you adding value to anybody else? Are you adding value to anything else? Because the more value that you add, the more likely you are to get picked. And that's promotion, relationship, credit, buying a house, acquisitions, anything of that nature. Are you adding value? Be a giver. Be a giver. That's the long and the short of it, honestly. Be a giver, because givers add value. And people and things that add value get picked. And you want to be picked. You definitely want to be picked. This has been another episode of the VSOP Lounge. Join us for the next chapter. Am I off? Email me. talk to gml@gmail.com. talk2gml@gmail.com. Text me, 617-752-8150, 617-752-8150. Text me. Let me know I'm off. Let me know what your thoughts are. Email me. Let me know what your thoughts are. Follow me. Grown Man Logic Podcast on Instagram. Dewan O'Neal 1 on Instagram. Follow me. Let me know. Let me know what you think. This has been another episode of the VSOP Lounge. We'll see you folks later. Did you enjoy what you just watched? Be sure to give Grown Man Logic a listen on all streaming services and follow us on all forms of social media. We'll see you next time.